Well, if you hadn't heard, the House holding hearings on Capitol Hill on UFOs, otherwise known as, unidentified flying objects, warning that these objects must be investigated and taken seriously as a potential threat to national security. First time in 50 years, but listen.
Unidentified aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat, and they need to be treated that way. For too long, the stigma associated with UAPs has gotten in the way of good intelligence analysis. Pilots avoided reporting or were laughed at when they did. DoD officials relegated the issue to the back room or swept it under the rug entirely, fearful of a skeptical national security community. Today, we know better. UAPs are unexplained, it's true, but they are real. They need to be investigated, and many threats they pose need to be mitigated.
Yeah, it's the first time since the 1960s that they've done this. I want to bring in our own Amanda Head to discuss the UFO hearings and this out-of-the-world discussion. Amanda, good to see you as always. Adam Schiff, I think, is the chair of this committee looking into this. But let's be honest, there have been a tremendous amount of videos in recent years released from the Navy, from the Air Force, a lot of things on there that they cannot explain, and then a report was taken and released to the public in its entirety that was not supposed to be, that showed more of this. I don't know what to make of it. I need your help here.
Well, I know one thing. With the advent of the internet, that is what I think has changed a lot of minds, because a lot of these videos have gone viral. Pilots have released some of their surveillance footage from their own aircrafts, whether they're, military or commercial or private aircrafts. So I think that that's swayed a lot of people, and the polling shows that as well. Gallup recently did a poll the end of last year that showed that 40% of Americans do now believe that some of the unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP is the new UFO, and it kind of encompasses all of the situations, not necessarily just the flying object. But 40% of Americans do believe that it could be alien spacecraft visiting us from another planet or another galaxy. Now that's 40%. 50% believe that there is some type of human explanation or natural phenomenon. 9% of people are unsure. But I will say that that is up a third from just 2 years ago. So, I think that Americans are open to the notion that this is something that does happen, that is within the realm of possibility. Or also it could just be the fact that Democrats are tanking America and we're all kind of looking for something that is a departure from politics to focus on.
Well, there it is. Maybe the National Enquirer had the lead on this. All right, so I got to ask you, what do you think? I mean, America's talking about it. First time since the 1960s we've had this going on. I wasn't going to let you get out the door without asking you. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so this is something that I've thought about a long time. I used to not think that any of these things were real because of scripture and some scripture related to God's creation and his eye on the sparrow and things like that. However, my mind has opened up a little bit to the notion that I think that God obviously created everything in creation, and I think that God created our universe and our galaxy and other galaxies to be somewhat of a playground, an exploratory playground for the human race. And I think that there have been things over the course of civilization, wars, conflict, things like that, that have prevented us from being able to do that type of exploration. So I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to say, because part of me, you know what, I'm just going to admit that this is one of those issues, and I don't like to admit this, but this is one of those issues that I'm not decided on, Steve. What about you?
I think you could have, the gobbledygook and say, who knows? But I do see these videos taken by military photographers and the Navy and the Army, and you go, how could they not know that? And you see them, flying all over, and you're like, well, something's up. I don't know what it is, but something is up. But I don't know. Is it from here, from there? I don't know. I think a lot of folks are there. Real, not real, I don't know. But
yeah,
maybe
especially
we'll
for believers, it's it's
Yeah.
a strange thing to think about.
It is. We'll keep thinking about it. Amanda Head, you can catch her weeknights at 6. Just the News, Not Noise, with her co-host John Solomon right here on Real America's Voice. Amanda, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. After the break, we'll be sharing some...